All right, welcome back, folks. I hate to say this, but I think we are witnessing the most brazen attempt to steal an election in United States history. Democrats are willing to do whatever it takes, including lie, cheat, and steal, and they're already doing all three of those things, literally stealing votes from President Trump and handing them to Biden. At least that's what the evidence suggests through all of this. We told you about this yesterday, two curious cases in Pennsylvania where Biden's vote count mysteriously jumped by more than 27,000, and President Trump suddenly lost almost 10,000 votes. How do you lose votes? The media, of course, ignores all of this because they are part of the operation, like a wheelman for a bank robber. And don't get me started on Allegheny County in Pennsylvania. It's an absolute mess there. The elections board in Allegheny has decided to go ahead and count thousands of mail-in ballots that were not cast properly and therefore, in my opinion, are illegal. And then there's the mysterious, quote, printing error that meant 29,000 voters ended up with the wrong ballots entirely. I don't believe in mistakes when it comes to this stuff, but that, of course, is what they claim it is. Joining us now to talk about what's going on in his state of Pennsylvania is Republican Congressman Guy Reschenthaler. Guy, good to see you. Thanks for coming back on.
Grant, thanks for having me back on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Guy. I just saw a stat, 10,000 ballots received after November 3rd for the state of Pennsylvania. This gets to the whole issue. Who decides? Should they be counted after November 3rd? The state Supreme Court says it should, even though state law says it shouldn't. What does this mean?
Well, Grant, can I just break it down real fast? Because I think it's really important that we know the timeline. The General Assembly, the state legislature, said that we were going to have expanded voting, but they said that all the votes had to be in by election night, 8 p.m. to be specific. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court then extended that deadline for 3 days, 72 hours after the polls closed. Therein lies the problem, because that is unconstitutional under the U.S. Constitution, because the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has usurped the power of the General Assembly. The U.S. Constitution says it's the legislators that decide how they select the electors. That's one, unconstitutional. Two, it gives Democrat operatives a chance to engage in fraud. And our system here is now ripe with fraud because the ballots that are coming in, not all of them are being marked, stamped with the date that it arrived, number one. Two, you can have them coming in without postage. And the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania said you don't even need signature verification. So good luck actually figuring out which ballots came in before election night and which ones came in after.
That gets me to I think part of the problem here is I'm worried that places like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh purposefully separated this ballot so they can't put them back together knowing when which ones came in, when which ones didn't, which fall here, which fall there. So it's going to be hard to separate and sort these things.
Well, and therein lies the reason why you don't have Republicans allowed to watch the votes being counted, right? Or when they do allow Republicans in, they have to stand 20 feet back and they can't see what's going on. And isn't it mysterious, Grant, that all these ballots are arriving at like 3 a.m? Just kind of weird. But that is why Justice Alito told Pennsylvania explicitly in an order on Friday night that these ballots cannot be commingled. Basically, the ballots that are coming in post-election night shouldn't be mixed up with those that came in on election day or before. Now that they've been commingled and you didn't have Republicans, it's going to be very hard to distinguish ones that were legal with ones that are illegal. And just one more point, Grant, the Democrats are chanting that every vote must count. We do agree that every vote must count. However, illegal votes cannot count, because as soon as one illegal vote is counted, or as soon as one dead person is allowed to cast a vote, which we also know is happening, then it by definition dilutes legal votes and dilutes the power of the voter that's voting legally.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you raise a dead voter. Look, the Trump campaign came out and said they had a woman who registered to vote 2 days after she died and then ultimately voted by mail for this election. So clearly fishy. The other thing I see fishy here is Pennsylvania, 98,000 votes were cast for only Joe Biden, meaning they didn't check anything else on the ballot. Only Joe Biden. Who does that? Nobody is the answer. Guy, in about 20 seconds, wrap it up.
Yeah, it's just not about those irregularities. It's also about the performance. How did you have two Republicans win statewide offices Also, we didn't lose a single Republican congressman that was on the ballot. All those individuals win, yet Trump doesn't. Additionally, let's not forget that we have a U.S. postal worker saying that his supervisor directed him to backdate the ballots as they were coming in. Clearly, there's evidence of fraud. This should be treated seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Guy Reschenthaler, I know you're working hard for the people of Pennsylvania. Thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Grant. Thank you.
All right, absolutely. You know, I told you about those 98,000 who voted in Pennsylvania. Just listen to this. Wisconsin, 62,000. Arizona, 42,000. Georgia, 85,000. Pennsylvania, 98,000. Votes only for one candidate, Joe Biden. All the down ballot races didn't cast a vote. That smells fishy.